So it really is something that people with forward thinking are utilizing and getting into it now, because like I said, when all the people go NFTs are a ripoff, when they understand just how important NFTs are and just how amazing the whole concept of it is and how useful as a collector of anything, they'll remember that Chris Jericho was harping on it and talking about it and doing it early on. And that's kind of always my mindset for anything that I do.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Today, I'm joined by a superstar wrestler, as you guys know, Chris Jericho. He was on the channel before to talk NFTs, and we're going to be getting into NFTs, what he's doing, but also what's going on with Phantasma, one of our top coin picks for 2022. So Chris, first and foremost, welcome back to the show.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it was a blast last time and really opened up a lot of new opportunities and a whole new kind of almost fan base involving NFTs and BitBoy. So very, very cool to be hanging with you again.
Yeah, definitely. Well, let's jump straight into it. I know last time you were getting ready to do an NFT launch for the Painmaker character. We covered how did that go and where does that stand right now? And then kind of, we'll roll into talking about NFTs at large.
Sure. I mean, so as we spoke last time, the original salvo, the first kind of episode, as I call it, we were just kind of seeing what the market was like and kind of dipping the toes into the water. And it went really, really good. I think we sold out of 50 of them or 49 of them in like 2 weeks or so. And it really kind of prompted the idea of, well, if the first one did so good, and it was originally just kind of a standalone type, piece of art, shall we say, I thought it might be kind of interesting to make it almost like it was the initial chapter of the Painmaker NFT series. So then I kind of started thinking, well, what if I did like chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5, where we're suddenly telling a little bit of a story with these with these NFTs. So that's kind of what we decided to do with episode 2, the second NFT, Death at First Sting, was kind of take what we did with the first one and continue kind of writing a story around that. So that was kind of the thought behind it, and kind of establishing a little bit more of kind of what the Painmaker's origin is and the adventures that he's having through NFTs. It's almost like the Painmaker lives exclusively in the NFT world, because I think it's the perfect place for this character to live in going forward in the future.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that one thing that, we see a common thread with NFTs that do really well are they do kind of tell a story. It's not just, here's a picture of this random thing. It looks cool. Like at this point, it's 2021. Like anyone can do graphic design, like, sure, there's some people out there that are really great at it, but if it's just focuses on, just the graphic design of it, it's not going to do as well. So I think really developing that into a story, it's something very good, not just for you, but for the entire space. Now, it's glad to hear that went well. What are your kind of overall thoughts just in general on being in the NFT environment? And kind of like you said, now you're doing a little bit more than dipping your toe in the pool, kind of getting into it. What are your overall expectations for where NFTs take us in the future?
Well, and once again, here I am speaking to you 3 or 4 months after the last time and kind of knowing a little bit more about NFTs and actually having some success in it. I mean, it's not the wave of the future, it's the wave of now. And there's still a lot of people that are, it's funny when you read the comments online, this is the biggest scam and it doesn't make any sense and it's so stupid. And like, there's 2 types of people in the world now. There's people who understand what NFTs are, and there's people that don't get it. And as we move forward, not just on a yearly basis, on a monthly basis, more and more people are understanding what the NFT is, and more people are getting involved. I was just reading this morning that Ozzy Osbourne is doing one, crypto bats. So
makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? So that's why I was thinking, and I mentioned this to you before, when I first started podcasting, it was the same thing. People really didn't understand exactly what a podcast was, including myself. And then I realized, okay, this is going to start replacing radio. It's definitely going to be replacing almost print magazines and newspapers and any other place you used to read an interview. That's almost going by the wayside. So it's almost the same with NFTs in that, you know, the overall plan for the Painmaker is to do this series of NFTs as almost chapters, which then leads up to a graphic novel. So, and I don't really, I'm sure we might, I never want to put any limits on it, but I'm not really thinking of this as a graphic novel that you hold in your hand. You know, it's more of a graphic novel that we're doing as an NFT. So, you know, and I think it's the same in kind of explaining this to the manager of Fozzy about how I think musicians are going to be able to take back music, so to speak, by releasing their music as NFTs and kind of eliminating the middleman of a record company. And that'll happen too over the next decade or so, if not sooner than that. You know, you think about a band like Avenged Sevenfold, they're working right now on moving their entire catalog to an NFT.
Yeah.
So it really is something that people with forward thinking are utilizing and getting into it now, because like I said, when all the people go NFTs are a ripoff, when they understand just how important NFTs are and just how amazing the whole concept of it is and how useful as a collector of anything, they'll remember that Chris Jericho was harping on it and talking about it and doing it early on. And that's kind of always my mindset for anything that I do.
Yeah, want to be on the cutting edge, on the new wave, the front end of the wave.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Definitely a good thing. Yeah,
it's you know, this all just came all together through Semkhor and through my relationship with Kevin Smith, and he had a great quote. It's a great Wayne Gretzky quote. I want to go where the puck is going, not where the puck has been, or not where the puck is now. You got to be moving ahead. So this really kind of is a perfect example of that, and I'm really excited of kind of telling this whole story of the Painmaker via these NFTs, then moving into a graphic novel, and then maybe even moving into a feature film or a TV show or something along those lines, because, you know, superheroes have to come from somewhere. They can't all come from Stan Lee, especially now because he's dead.
Right.
So we got to think of some new characters. And, you know, rather than doing that via, you know, the old school print and ink type way, let's do it via, you know, via the NFT world, shall we say.
Yeah, NFT and blockchain space. I mean, this is where the future is going. It makes sense that stories come out of this. I understand, like, you know, I'm a little burnt out of Marvel movies myself. You know, I want to check out Spider-Man, but like, there's so many of them now that, you know, I do feel like it's time for some fresh stories. You know, we can't remake, you know, everything like they're remaking the Matrix, you know. So I think originality is important. Now, I want to talk to you lastly, Phantasma. It's one of the coins that we picked as one of our top 5 coins for 2022. I've got big expectations for where this one is going, because like a lot of coins we've seen in the past, they're doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes that we think are eventually going to lead to some big explosions. Now, you're actually a holder, not just a holder of Sol, the ticker of Phantasma, but you're a Sol master. Tell us a little bit about your thoughts on Sol.
Wait, I didn't realize I was a Sol master until just a few minutes ago. So if that's anything like being a Jedi master, then I'm all for it. But
yeah,
it's one of the things that working with Semkhor, with the first NFT, you know, we sold them out. So rather than kind of, once again, doing the old school way of getting, you know, my share of the proceeds, shall we say, of the profits, we put that into using the Phantasm coins and being, you know, the Sol coins on the Phantasma chain. So it's interesting because I'm still learning about that now. That's a whole other thing, but I have it on my computer that I check daily, and it is like a stock, you know what I mean? So I literally have it pulled up where I have the Phantasma, you know, on Coin Market, you know, finding out what Phantasma is worth. Yeah. And then I also have my ECTO wallet where I'm checking, you know, what it's all, you know, what the value of it is. And it's one of those things that I look at it multiple times a day because it's very interesting. I'm sure it's the same way that if someone buys stock in, you know, AT&T or something, they might want to check, you know. So once again, it's a whole new world of, it's not just the NFTs now, but it's the currency that you make from the NFTs and just kind of the whole almost like I said, investing, stock market, all that sort of side to it as well. So it really is. And I can understand why a lot of people might go, oh, it's such a waste of time, or it's a scam or whatever. A lot of times people say that when they don't want to open their minds to understand something, rather than learning about it. Oh, I'd rather not learn. Oh, it's stupid. Like I'd like to learn how to drive, I don't know, a pontoon boat in my lake. Yeah, but it's too hard to learn. I'm just not going to bother. Meanwhile, if you spend the hour that it takes to learn how to do it and then repeat it a few times, you have a new skill. And that's the same way I feel about the knowledge of an NFT and the knowledge of the blockchains and the knowledge of the ECTO wallets and the Phantasma and the soul and being a soul master and all these sort of things. If I don't learn it now, then I probably never will. And then you become obsolete, especially being in show business and entertainment, right? So that's one of the cool things about working with Semkhor is it's helping me to expand my horizons all across the board, creatively, financially, and just from a concept point of view, where you have to learn this stuff. It'd be like saying, I don't want to learn how to use a DVD player. I'm going to stick with my Betamax player, and then, 3 months later, you can't find a new Betamax. Well, I'm just going to watch my original Star Wars Betamax, and that's the only movie I'm ever going to watch again. Like if you start thinking that way, you become completely obsolete.
Yeah, I think that's the truth of the situation is crypto, Bitcoin, blockchain, NFTs. These are the future. They're the now and they're the future. And you can either jump on board now and jump on board with something like Phantasma, or you can get left behind, and you got to see the direction that everything's going. I think, Chris, you do a great job of that. I watched, one of my guilty pleasures is watching wrestling YouTube videos. It's one of these things that, people ask, like, what YouTube videos you watch? I don't know why. I watch like old school wrestling videos, and I watched a video that was so funny. It was like your best one-liners over your career. It was like a 10-minute video of one-liners, and you're definitely a person that understands attention, and you got some good singers. So I got a kick out of that. Or I have to talk to you. I went and watched that video. You've done phenomenal in the wrestling business, and hats off to you for sticking in NFTs and learning more about crypto. And I like the process as well. You'll learn more about NFTs. Now you're learning more about actually holding the coins and watching the prize. It's all really fun stuff.
Well, I appreciate that. And if you're talking about kind of my career in wrestling, one of the reasons why it's been so successful is it's constantly evolving and 100%. Constantly changing and updating and never just staying based in the past. I'm not a nostalgia act. I have no interest in that. And it's kind of the same concept of what we're talking about now with NFTs. And I go back to saying it again. I mean, I think last time we talked about my Wayne Gretzky rookie card that I can't find anywhere. Now there's actually a Chris Jericho Corazon de Leon wrestling card from 1993 in Mexico. If you Google it, it's the most expensive wrestling card in the world.
Wow.
Guess who has one? Me. Guess who can't find it? Me. It's probably with my freaking Gretzky card. So it's the same thing where it's very frustrating in that I know I have this somewhere, but I can't find it. And it goes back. That's my best way of explaining what an NFT is.
100%.
It's like if you had this Gretzky rookie card as an NFT, you would basically never lose it. You would have it forever, and you could put it in a digital frame, and you could put it up on your wall, or you could sell it to somebody, but you'll always have it. And that's, you have to start thinking like you just mentioned for, the history of my wrestling one-liners. I'm always trying to think of new ones because it's great to have the hit singles, but you got to put out new music if you're a band, for example. And it's the same thing with this. You have to put out new products as Chris Jericho, as the Painmaker, and kind of figuring out this whole world. Like I said, I didn't want to just put out a Chris Jericho, like, here I am running the ropes, really cool with blue smoke. And it's like, let's create something completely new that's only associated with an NFT and all the things we can do in this world, whether it's, like I mentioned, the NFT episodes, whether it's the graphic novel, whether it's a movie, a show, who knows what it might be. But the point is, it's a whole new universe where I can create whatever I want for this character and this story. And it's something that I think 2 or 3 years from now will be 3 times, 4 times, 5 times bigger than it is now. And for those who know, it's already very big.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you put it very eloquently there. Going back to your point, I'll just leave the audience with this quick story that really hammers home what you're saying. I recently went to a collectible store and bought some collectible cards and things like that. And when I went in, they were recovering. They had just had their store broken into the night before. And over the last couple of months, they had some people do smash and grabs inside their store. They lost $650,000 worth of memorabilia. And so, you think about, it's awful. It's an awful story with NFTs and collectibles. This is why this is heading this way in the future. You can never have a smudged autograph on an NFT as well. So these are things, this is a new direction. I think, like I said, very eloquent the way that you put that. So
yeah, man, like I said, it's exciting and it's cool to have the second NFT on sale and to do, like you mentioned, the AMA on Phantasma to kind of put a little bit more spin on it. And then coming up with this idea for the graphic novel about this intergalactic serial killer who changes his ways. And then now his mission is to search for other intergalactic serial killers and kill them. So like, it's, once again, it comes from all my weird mind, but now I have a whole universal platform to paint these new pictures in. So thank you, BitBoy. I'm going to start off and call you Bitman pretty soon, because you talk about, I'm a soul master, but you're like an NFT blockchain master. So you're almost
appreciate that.
You've gone beyond boy status.
Yeah, well, thank you. I've been waiting my whole life to hear that, so thank you, Chris. All right, well, it's
bit young adult. At least you're moving up to there.
Bit young adult. I like it.
Bit legal age to drink.
He's gonna start one line in me here in a second. Chris, thank you so much for joining us. It's been very refreshing learning more about Phantasma, about your new NFT. Put all the links down to the new NFT down below in the description. Also, there's an AMA coming on January 4th, so we'll make sure to put that down below as well. So be on on the lookout for that AMA with Chris and Semkhor and Phantasma on January 4th, coming out here in a couple of days. That's all I got. Be blessed. Good boy out.